Hey everyone, here is my best shot of explaining Bitcoin in one take on my back patio. So, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a new form of digital money, and the reason humans need money is because barter is difficult. It's difficult to barter things like cows and eggs and whatever else, a pair of shoes. And so humans invented money. Money is a technology, and it's the technology that we use to interact and medium of exchange, unit of account, and store of value, because it's hard to use other things for that.
Now, there's something I never pondered. Why do humans even need money? What's money exactly? What is it? Why does this little slip of green paper have any value at all? Mr. Bomgar is saying that bartering or trading stuff is not the best for society. For example, say I have 10 good milk cows. So I got milk, but I ain't got no eggs. So I want to trade a milk cow to get a few of them egg-laying chickens. But he's already got milk cows and don't want no more, and so he won't trade with me. You see, bartering is not a good system. If only there was some system in place where I could sell my milk cows for some sort of money to whoever needed them, and then turn and use that same money to buy them chickens.
So over human history, humans have used seashells, glass beads, and ultimately newer technologies always replace the older technologies. So for example, glass beads replaced seashells, ultimately gold, precious metals replaced glass beads, and we are in the early stages of Bitcoin replacing gold as the store of value, ultimately medium of exchange, and long-term also unit of account.
Now that's funny. Seashells being used as money, replaced by gold, and Mr. Bomgar believes that we're seeing Bitcoin replace gold in our day.
So in order for something to be a money, the number one value or the number one characteristic that matters is it needs to be scarce. Anything that is not scarce is hard to use as money because there's a lot of it. And so the ability to find new amounts of whatever it is undermine its value. So the most valuable money is the scarcest money. For about 5,000 years, gold has been the scarcest.
So for a money to be a good money in society, it must be scarce. It means there ain't too much of it. It means there's some finite number of this money so that you can't just go out and find more and more and more of it. Now, seashells ain't scarce. Some fella goes and finds more, and suddenly the seashells in your seashell bank account aren't as valuable as they once were. Gold is more scarce than seashells, but not as scarce as Bitcoin. And your dollar sure ain't scarce. Every time the government prints more dollars, the ones in your bank account become less valuable.
So what makes a good money? Well, whether it's seashells, glass beads, gold, or Bitcoin, you want something that is easy to use and hard to make more of. So over time, some things like seashells became extinct in the use for money. They became obsolete because they were hard to use as money, and ultimately they found too many ways to find new seashells, so they were not scarce and hard to use. Gold ultimately was hard to use because it's not very easy to divide it. It's hard to move in large amounts, etc. So gold was hard to use, but it was hard to make more of or to get more of. So it sort of solved half of the monetary equation. It was hard to use, but hard to make more of. And so it was good enough when no other technology existed. Right now, most of the world runs on fiat currency. Fiat means made up. It means by fiat, by dictate. It means the government just says it's money because it is. They print pictures of dead presidents on paper and they hand them to you and they say, this is money. This is what you had, this is money. So fiat currencies are easy to use because it's easy to carry paper around or to transact electronically online. So fiat currencies are easy to use, but they're also very easy to make more of. So the total amount of new dollars in circulation is constantly going up because the Federal Reserve in every country in the world is constantly printing more money. And they always claim there's some new emergency, and of course there never is, but they're constantly printing more money. So fiat currencies are easy to use, but easy to make more of. So they fail the test the opposite way of gold. So Bitcoin is the first currency that is both easy to use and easy to make more of. So in my case, I use the Coinbase debit card, which it is accepted anywhere in the world that Visa is accepted, and it is linked to my Bitcoin. So every time I use an ATM or I pay for something or I activate it on my Apple Watch for contactless payments to pay for gas at a gas station, it immediately deducts however much Bitcoin is the current exchange rate with fiat currencies. The current exchange rate, whatever that is, however much gas I bought, it deducts that much Bitcoin on the back end, but Visa and Coinbase take care of that for me. So for me, and as long as you're using like a Coinbase debit card, it is very easy to use Bitcoin to transact. I can also send any amount of Bitcoin anywhere in the world in a few seconds for very low fees on the Bitcoin network, which is very hard to do. Right now on a Saturday, I can't send money. If I want to send money right now across the planet, I can't because the banks are closed. They will not allow me to wire money until Monday. And even then, the other person doesn't get it till Tuesday or Wednesday. And usually wire transfers get rejected the first time for some reason. You got to try them again. Something's not right, whatever. It's just a royal pain to move significant amounts of money around. So anyway, Bitcoin solves that. So Bitcoin is the first money that humans have ever invented or discovered that is both easy to use and hard to make more of, because in the case of Bitcoin, the Bitcoin network only produces a new amount of Bitcoin, and that new amount of Bitcoin drops every 4 years. So Bitcoin is the most amazing technology. The cryptography behind it, the computer network that secures Bitcoin is the most advanced computer network that humans have ever invented. And it's this incredible technology that I've been studying since 2017. So about 7 years now. I've been studying Bitcoin on and off, and really a lot on in the last few years, just because as Bitcoin has the adoption around the world has really picked up, it's become more and more clear that Bitcoin will be the future monetary system of the world. And as that has become more clear, obviously my interest in studying Bitcoin has become higher and higher and higher. And the price of Bitcoin over time has become higher and higher and higher as well. So I've accumulated, a lot of Bitcoin as a result of that because I deeply believe in the technology. So it represents the vast, vast, vast majority of my liquid assets.
All right. Now, did you hear what he said? Money has to be easy to use, but hard to make more of. Now, seashells, it was too easy to find more of them. They ain't scarce. Gold, it's more scarce, but it's hard to use as money. It's not easy to divide it. It's not easy to carry it on your person for exchange. And fiat, or your dollars, they're pretty easy to use and carry them on yourself, but they're easy to make more of. They're not scarce. You can make more of them. In fact, your government does. Now, Bitcoin is a technology. It's meant to be used as money. It's better than gold because it's easy to use. It's digital money that you can carry anywhere and send anywhere. It's better than the dollar because you can't make more of them. There's a fixed amount. It's scarce. Now, this technology is gaining steam and it's going to replace our current cash system. Bitcoin will become the future monetary system of the world.
So anyway, Bitcoin's an incredible technology. To summarize, money is a technology. The best money is easy to use and hard to make more of. Every past technology has failed the test of being both easy to use and hard to make more of, has eventually been supplanted by another technology that is either easier to use or harder to make more of. So we are going through that process right now. The entire world is going through a process of slowly switching from fiat currencies to Bitcoin. That will be a multi-decade process. We are very early in that process, and even very early in that process, Bitcoin, as all of the Bitcoin that's available, is worth more than $1 trillion right now.
So one day you won't be thinking in terms of how many dollars are in my bank account, but how much Bitcoin do I have? You see, Bitcoin is not just an investment, but it's a monetary system. It's a cash system. And one day it's how you'll pay for everything. So we're seeing the early adoption process of this in our society. And the earlier you get in on it, the better.
So anyway, great time to adopt Bitcoin. The price will be volatile as long as you can stomach that volatility. My hope is that as many people get on the front end of that transition to the new monetary system as possible, because the earlier you are in that adoption process, the more of the new money you end up with, and the new money ends up being way more valuable than the old money in the case of, for example, the transition from glass beads to gold. The people that changed out as much of their glass beads for gold early in the process ended up with way more gold than the people who transferred their glass beads into gold late in that process when it took a ton of glass beads to buy a tiny amount of gold. gold. So we're still very, very, very early into this worldwide Bitcoin adoption process, and hopefully this video and the content I put on Facebook is helpful in that process. So if you got any questions, post them here. Happy to help. Otherwise, have a wonderful Saturday. Thanks.